The informal meeting of NATO's foreign ministers has concluded. The meeting saw deliberations on several pressing issues which concerns the 30-member bloc. This ranged from Sweden's membership in NATO to the war in Ukraine. The meeting in Oslo has set the stage for the bloc's main summit, which will be held in Lithuanian capital Vilnius next month. One of the issues which dominated the agenda during the foreign ministers' meeting was on how to evolve the relationship with Ukraine. Kiev, for long, has been insisting on getting the membership of the bloc. The issue was reignited when Russia invaded Ukraine last year. Apart from this, talks were also held on further supporting Ukraine over the war. The member nations have been supplying arms to Kiev to boost its defense capabilities. They have also slapped sanctions on Moscow. The bloc has also drawn measures for its own security from Russia. Sweden's membership also featured in the discussions. The European nation needs ratification from Hungary and Turkey to join the bloc. Since Turkey's elections are over, chances of a swift decision on the issue are probable. Hungary has repeatedly declared that it will be giving approval before Turkey does. We have seen human suffering in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, which is a tragedy. If this turns into a fully fledged war, it will then be worse for humanity. These are the words of Jens Stoltenberg, NATO Secretary General, who spoke exclusively to WION. Here's part of the interview.
How has the European security architecture changed since the conflict started, since the Russian invasion of Ukraine started last year?
So what we have seen is a war aggression launched by President Putin and the leadership in Moscow against a sovereign, independent nation with international recognized borders. And what allies have done is that we have provided support to Ukraine, because you have to remember what this is. This is a war aggression where we have an aggressor, Russia, invading another country, Ukraine, and it is enshrined in the UN Charter as part of international law that when attacked, when you are a victim of aggression, you have the right for self-defense. So Ukraine defend itself, and NATO allies help Ukraine to uphold the right of self-defense. We are not party to the conflict, but we support Ukraine in their rightful right to defend against aggression.
While European capitals are very worried about the conflict, there are concerns in the Indo-Pacific as well. The Chinese aggressive actions in the region has been a concerning development for countries like India, for Japan. How does NATO sees that the ongoing Chinese aggressive actions, but also its actions towards India in India's northern borders?
So we are concerned about China's more coercive behavior and the way they try to, in a way, to coerce neighbors and to threaten neighbors. We have seen it in the South China Sea, we have seen it in the Indian Ocean. And of course this highlights that security is global. NATO will remain a regional alliance of North America and Europe, but what happens in the Indian Ocean or in the South China Sea also matters for our security, as it matters, of course, for the countries in the region. And therefore, we are working more closely with our close partners, the Indo-Pacific partners, Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand. And I think it is a potential for also NATO and India to work more closely together. But of course, that has to also be something that is wanted from India.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.